wonder how this is going to tie into that, if at all, or if there's going to be a story or anything.
But the bot mode is really cool. The wings are still see-through, which I do like. This is just Grimlock cosplaying as Megatron, cosplaying as Godzilla.
I think the ratchet looks so much better than this. I think it's cute for if you don't want to have them fully combined.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking this set. And
it's great to see them go to another line and do great. Not that I have not seen a confirmed price.
Confirmed. Okay.
Right.
And what were they saying?
They were saying 1,800.
Oh.
It's what I expected because they have done good work. That this color looks amazing. I love this red. I hate this figure. From head to toe, I actually really like it. This bothers me, but it also goes to show that you need to pay attention. Hey, welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And we're back with another thrilling round of news. A bit late, so we apologize. James has some things going on, like moving. How dare he? So internet was an issue. I have a virtual background because I'm in another room of my house, but who cares? First, we want to start off by giving a shout out to our official sponsor, The Chosen Prime, where you can find many of the figures that we're going to talk about on pre-order, maybe in stock. Also want to say thank you to our members. Really appreciate you supporting us on this. We will be scheduling a members only. It's getting a little tricky with the holidays, but we will be sending that out as well. Also, thank you to the subscribers. Really appreciate you helping us on this journey. As well as some of you have reached out that you actually have received your prints. Let us know what you think about them. We still have a couple of prints left over, so for anyone who wants to pick up one, just email us at botversecon@gmail.com. And with that, I think I covered everything. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it right now.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody that has subscribed. We've been seeing a good amount of you joining us on this journey. Now let's get into the news proper. And first, there's an interview with Evan Brooks via the website Brands Untapped. I didn't personally read it. Did you, Bobby?
I did not.
So I'm sure there's a lot of interesting things on there, so let us know if you did. And I'm sure he has some enlightening things to talk about Transformers.
The Bumblebee threw me off.
Yeah, well, I think that's the latest Studio Series release. So, I mean, I get it. Next, let's actually talk about some leaks. There's quite a few of them, or two of them, but I think they're big ones. First one is this. Do you know who this is, Bobby?
Isn't that... was it Armada Ironhide or something like that?
You got the first part right. This is Armada Red Alert.
Red Alert, that's what I meant. Yes.
It's Voyager, I guess, and I think this vehicle mode looks very, very in line. I love that I see that it has the cannon on the other side that's empty, so I'm assuming that's a gun that plugs in right there. I love the clear plastic on the top. I don't think it's going to light up, which is a bit of a shame, but what do you expect from Hasbro nowadays? I think this is very, very accurate. What do you think?
So it looks like, as you said, very accurate. Is this supposed to be part of the Prime line that they're coming out with?
They're not just doing primes.
Okay.
They're doing, I think, the primes.
Well, I figured as much. There's only 13 of those, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
I just wonder how this is going to tie into that, if at all, or if there's going to be a story or anything to go along with it.
I was just about to say, they don't do no stories no more on the on Legacy and whatnot. They just throw them all in there and have a space bridge behind them, and there you go, you're done.
Okay. So yeah, it looks very accurate. The spring-loaded... Wasn't the gun spring-loaded on the...
It was.
Side?
I don't know if this is going to be just because modern-day Hasbro. But it was spring-loaded. He also had, like...
The disc?
Out of his chest / the front of the car were, like, discs that shot out, which was so much fun as a kid. But I could understand why you'd want to limit that for a better-looking bot mode. Because he was kind of weird-looking, but in 2000 he was good, but nowadays it was weird-looking.
Yeah, so I think it looks good. I think it looks very accurate. I'm curious about the final product.
Yeah, I am more interested in if he comes with his minicon. All right, moving on. Something I know you're going to get. Reddit user Clay Bricks has leaked several product sets for Lego in the for 2025, and I don't know if they've been correct or not, but he did say a Lego Soundwave was in the works. So what do you think about that as you collect these Lego figures?
I'm in for it. I think it will look really good. I'm curious to what it will transform into, if it's going to be G1 Soundwave that turns into a tape recorder, or if it's going to turn into some vehicle or something like that. I would assume a tape recorder, but I don't want to assume.
Well, I will assume for you that it's a tape recorder, because that would be much easier to build out of Legos.
A brick?
Yeah, exactly. Than something else. Personally, I'm more interested in this than the Optimus and the Bumblebee, because it's a Decepticon. So we'll have to see what it looks like. Both of them have a little weirdness to them. They're not perfect. And we'll see if I pick this up or not. And I want to know if it comes with the tapes. That
should be big.
At least one of them.
Yeah.
And
but
maybe
which one would you want?
Personally, Ratbat, but I know it's not going to come with Ratbat. It's going to come with Ravage or Laserbeak. If I was to pick between the two, it'd be Ravage.
Okay.
Just because I'm a cat person.
Yeah, I would pick Ravage as well, because I'm a big cat person, but I think it would be Laserbeak, if anything.
Yeah.
I think he's probably more in tuned with or associated with Laserbeak than Ravage, I think.
I agree. Laserbeak's like the de facto, you need a Cassetticon to go with Soundwave, you put Laserbeak with them.
Yeah.
But still, I'm interested to see this either which way. Maybe we'll get all the tapes. That would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Or maybe we'll get some of those KO Lego. Are they even KOs if they're not Legos? I don't know. Maybe they'll make the tapes for them, because I've seen some really cool Transformer stuff with them too.
You know what? I think because the transformation for this shouldn't be as difficult as, turning the ones into cars like Bumblebee and Prime, they could actually probably give us all the tapes.
It depends on how many bricks and how tall he is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Let us know your thoughts below on this Lego Soundwave, and if it's actually coming out, or what if they're going to just do Hot Rod instead, do another Autobot. So let us know what you think down below, and we'll take a quick break and be right back with what's just announced. Now let's get into what's just announced, and these first few sides are all for you, Bobby. We do know you collect these, and that's the Skybound comics. So I guess the free comic book day in 2025 special edition for the Energon universe is going to have, I don't know who that is, that G.I. Joe character on the front. And then the free comic book day for Transformers is going to be that Penbot ballpoint, which we talked about months ago. I'd be interested in it just because it's a weird, new, wacky character, and it would be a fun read. These are usually shorter than normal comics. It's kind of weird that they're already doing free comic book day this early, but at the same time, it's good to know what they are going to have.
You beat me to it, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I said, isn't free comic book day in May?
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who the G.I. Joe character is with the claw. Watch his name be Claw or something like that. But
I didn't even notice he had a claw.
It looks like a claw, or he has some bad fingers. You were interested in Ballpoint, so I could see you being interested in this as well. I know they just released the G.I. Joe issue 1 for the Energon universe, which I have not read yet. So I'll be in for both of these come May. Can we get to Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's before we start talking about May?
There's a lot more stuff in between, a lot of other holidays too to deal with before this. But either which way, I think it's cool that they're showing it off already. They also showed off the comic solicitations for February 2025.
Oh. Well, I know what Void Rivals cover I'm getting. And
I love that half transformed Rodimus. How he's like coming together.
Yeah, that's
so cool.
that's happening, and I think I'm gonna go with the Soundwave Transformers comic. I think I like that one better.
I would think you would want to go with that because I think you have a few Skybound Transformers that look like the center.
Yeah. So give me Astro Train and Soundwave.
Yeah. Let's keep it going, and I guess there's another comic-related thing. There's a telemanga, episode 44 of Transformers Go Go. It's updated monthly, and this week, or this month, it's Ironhide and Chromia. I didn't know this was a thing, but it just came across my my Facebook page while I was trying to find news, and it looks really cute. Obviously I didn't read it was in Japanese, but the art was really, really interesting. So,
Starscream looks like he went out to get groceries and came home and Ironhide stole his girl. That's true story. That happened to me with my cousin. That's why I hate him now. But so I feel your pain, Starscream. So that's very interesting to see, and I wish they could translate it and I could read it to actually see what's going on.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's already fan translations out there.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see little funky stories, especially when told by a Japanese writer, because they are extra strange, and I like that. So,
yeah.
Let's keep it going. And Transformers 1 has a vinyl. The pre-orders are out at $63 for 2 vinyl discs, and it comes with liner notes and everything. And I do like that they look like the golden discs from Transformers.
I'm with you on that. That was what immediately caught my attention.
Yeah.
Everything
Other than
else.
that, I mean, I don't associate the soundtrack. I don't remember anything about it. No shade to Brian Tyler. I was too interested in the movie, I guess.
I'm right there with you. The soundtrack wasn't memorable, at least at this time. I'm curious about the people who've seen the movie multiple times, if this soundtrack stood out to them initially, or in the multiple times that they've seen it, if it stood out, because it hasn't stood out to me at all.
Yeah. Next up, I don't know if we talked about this before, I don't remember, but YOLO Park's AMK Pro the last night has early sample images, and this is via Weibo user Black, and it's $56.99, and I think you need to get it because look how much fun that looks to build. Look at all those pieces.
Why are you putting this on me? I think you should get it.
It's an Optimus Prime. 2, it's a buildable figure. You like both of those?
That has not been my Optimus Prime for as long as we've been doing this show. I do like all the pieces it comes with, and that's pretty cool. I would get a transforming Prime in this deco before I got a model of this.
Makes sense. If you were to get one of these, it would be the G1 Prime or Megatron or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just put your money in the blockies, that's fine. Next up, there was a neoclassical orchestra, I believe, in China. And it was a 40th anniversary concert. Looked kind of cool. Flipped through the pictures. Not my cup of Energon, but it would have been cool to go to at the same time.
Yeah, so I actually saw Black Panther. The Atlanta Symphony did it, and it's really, really cool. So you watch the movie, and the orchestra does all the the music, and so it's really, really cool. So I would actually really enjoy seeing that. I would do that again. It's really, really cool to because I mean it's almost you're hearing it in used to a movie being in stereo or whatever definition for sound and all that stuff, but to hear the orchestra go along with it brings out a totally different feeling of the movie.
Oh, that's really cool. I would look into that then if they came around here.
Yeah, I would go.
Next up, we have a life-size Optimus installation art statue. I'm not sure where this is, but it's cool. I don't think, obviously, it's going to be for sale, but it's a different-looking Prime for sure.
It almost looks like Energon Prime around the chest area. That's what when I first saw this, I was thinking of it. I was thinking because I had just messed with Obsidian or Grand Scourge and how the chest opens up, and that's what I saw immediately when I first saw this. Not to say it's spot on, but that's what it reminded me of.
It reminds me more of the War for Cybertron video game Prime with the proportions.
Okay, I'm not.
You know the action figure that had the really wide shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't ring up. I mean, I know we've seen it or talked about it, but it didn't. It absolutely.
You don't even remember.
It is not living rent free in my head.
Either which way, I think it looks good. I'd like to see it in person. That'd be cool, but we'll see where it is.
Yeah, it should be at your house.
Okay, if you're putting it in. Next up, Figapin is having a mystery series of enamel pins. They're blind bagged. Common ones are Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Soundwave, and Shockwave. Uncommon are shiny, all of those. Rare is Prowl and Ironhide. Super rare is Jazz and Starscream. Hyper rare is Megatron. And ultra rare, which is an app redemption, so I don't know how that works, is a golden Megatron. I think these look great, but I am so out on the blind bags. So what do you think, Bobby, about these blind bag pins?
I hate the idea of the blind bag. I hate it. And I actually like every single one of these.
I think they're very good designs too, but I'm not dealing with that.
Right. If I had, I would buy every single one of these. You and I have, you probably longer than I have, well, definitely longer than I have been collecting pins from TFCon. So I would pick up all of these. Each one, even, Bumblebee, who I know you're not a fan of, probably my least favorite of these, maybe Ironhide, my least favorite of these, but those still look good. And if I couldn't get those, I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Why did they make Megatron the hyper rare one?
Yeah.
That's just, like, I get it. You want a lot of people to buy. But I'm like, at the same time, that's the one that just doesn't make sense to me. No. And super rare is Starscream and Jazz. Yeah. Again, popular characters. They're trying to get people to buy a whole bunch of these. And these aren't like Pokemon cards, which are blind bag. But, like, you can use 3 Pikachu cards. You know what I mean? And it's a card. This is like, how much? I don't know the price on these. But let's say they're $5 even. You pay $10 and you get 2 Bumblebees. I'd be pissed.
Yep. Yeah, I would too. I couldn't do it. And I was actually going to say I'm buying these.
Yeah, I think I would have too, if you could choose what it is. But
yeah, I would.
And app redemption, don't know what that means. That seems very confusing. So
unless there's, which would be crazy, unless I see a QR code on there. So scan to see entire mystery. I can't read the last word, but unless there's like, you scan that and there's an app that goes with these pins or something like that, and you can redeem.
And I think there is, but how does that get you the ultra rare one?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either which way, let us know your thoughts on blind bag figures and why Bobby should go buy more blockies.
This is not going to be part of the show moving forward.
Next up, we have Funbee Studios Flathead Screwdriver.
It looks good. I don't remember. I think this is for Megatron.
It is DC. It's his jackhammer. It just first. It didn't have a name, so I'm like, it's a flathead screwdriver. Like, I don't know, but yeah, I guess he had a jackhammer.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Again, my attention to detail when the movie started was,
the back of your eyelids.
I just actually had some things in my mind that I needed to ponder, so that's what I was going with.
Yeah, of course. That seems to be the theme for you with TF1. It's your nap movie, I guess. So let's just move on before you fall asleep looking at this. And let's talk about the Super Make or Super Make, the Energon Universe Megatron weapon, which I think is really cool. You know, that they're giving it this out there. I don't like it, but I think it's cool that it exists.
I like it. I want it. I don't like it in this black, just all black like this. I like the way it looks in Starscream's hands with the silver and gray, or silver and black. If they did that, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, it's cool. I'm seeing that there's a lot of accessories and things coming out that are based around the comic, which shows how good this comic is, that we're now recreating our figures to match the comic.
Yeah. And what's cool is you don't need new figures. It's not like IDW that had Optimus had a completely different design. You could literally take, your Masterpiece or Legends figures and then have a Skybound Universe collection, which I think is really cool.
Yep.
They are also doing an add-on set for Emerald Zaron. Great. No, it's good. It's good for the people that want it. I mean, I wouldn't put more money into these Hasbro figures, but especially something as small as this.
I tend to agree with you on this. If this was a character, because I know this is kind of a rare character, I could see why somebody would want it to be as perfect as possible. So I can see doing it. I wouldn't do it. I still haven't even ordered this character yet.
Yeah. So I don't know. They are also doing Reflector.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to say, like you said, it makes sense. They're the same figure. It just doesn't enhance the figure that much for me. But if you really like this figure, get it.
Yeah, and it's such an old figure. I mean, I would have thought there were already some upgrade sets for it from 4 years ago.
I would assume so too, but time will tell.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to a upgrade set that I think you might buy for one singular reason, and that's the DNA Designs Vector Prime upgrade set. Now, Bobby, will you be picking this up?
I think I am. It looks really good. It looks very, very good. I really like what they did. I like how tall it makes the figure. I like the thigh, the outer leg panels, the feet, the shoulders, the arms. Love the wings. Looks great.
Yeah, I agree. I think I might be picking this up too, depending on the price. Mm-hmm. I believe we discussed on the show, maybe one of our lives, Blue did make the mini-con for him.
Yes.
So I would like that set, and I think this really enhances the figure. Like you said, it makes him taller, but it also gives him those Vector Prime arm cannon, not arm cannons, arm shoulders, or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Something on his forearm. Forearm armor. There you go. Which is very reminiscent of the original toy. The larger shoulder pads are a little exaggerated, but I kind of like that. And the new wings are amazing. The sword's really cool too.
Yeah.
This isn't doing it for me. I don't know why. This looks weird. It looks like he's supposed to be a what's it called? A solar again, a satellite. It looks more like a satellite than a spaceship, in my opinion.
Well, so the part that got me, and I guess it's just a gap filler, is in the front.
Yeah.
That gold piece. Because I was just like, what did it? I was trying to figure out what it did or whatever.
I did the same thing. I was like, what is upgraded? And then they should have zoomed in more on it or something. Yeah.
So it looks fine. I was thinking the same thing about a satellite, though. Those wings do look like, it's going to help. It's going to help with your internet, James. That's what it's going to do.
Yeah, hopefully. But the bot mode is really cool. The wings are still see-through, which I do like. And it looks like it still poses good. I mean, it has the bones of G-Axis, which was a really good figure. So, yeah, I might pick this up. I want to see the price first.
Yeah, same here. What price? What's the max price you go in on this?
About $30.
Okay,
I think that's reasonable for something like this.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't be 45, because that's a decision now. We got to make a real decision.
Oh, $45? No, I'd be out.
Yeah, we got to make a real decision.
All right, well, let's keep it going. And we've got Galaxy Toys Microscale Ironhide and Ratchet. Now, I don't know if we've looked at these before. I don't remember, so I put them in here. But they look fine.
We have not looked at these before. I think these look great. And more so, I love how the bed, the trailer bed, whatever it's called, actually transforms with the character. That is what I love about it. And the characters look filled out. So unlike the G1 toy, which again, that was 40 years ago, clearly.
That was supposed to be a Transformer too.
Yeah. So I think that these nailed it. They both look good, and they're so small. So it looks like, they really captured that. So I think it's really cool.
I agree. Moving on, we've got a KO Flame Toys RC from it's MD002 Xiaoji. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Don't have much to talk about here. It looks fine, just like the Flame Toys one. It's KO. Get it if you want it.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Doesn't look like it transforms, so
it does not.
Yeah, and I do need another RC, I think, but I would like one that transforms.
Yeah, well, maybe this one will. Maybe they'll add extra parts so it folds up and you put a box around it.
Yeah.
This thing kind of threw me off guard. Shentu Toy Box showed off TF brickheads. I don't think these are official. But gosh dang it, isn't this guy just the cutest little thing you've ever seen?
It's very cute. I did notice there's a few of them available.
Yeah, we'll talk about those in a second.
Okay. I didn't know if you had them, so that's what I was leaning to. I think it's really cute. It looks like he's just sitting on his butt, almost in a pouting state.
A little bit, yeah.
Like when kids get mad at you and they just want to sit there and just put their arms to the side, it's very cute.
Mm-hmm. And like you alluded to, they're doing everybody. Wow. I'm shocked. These all look really good. I think my favorite is probably the Soundwave. I don't know. His head shape's the best. Maybe because he's not supposed to have a mouth. Yeah. But there's even more. Who's your favorite on this page?
I think I would go with Soundwave as well. Hot Rod or / Rodimus, whichever one they want to do, just because I like the colors.
Yeah. Here's even more. That Sharktacon is the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
It's the weirdest, cutest little thing.
Right. The Perceptor is based off. Say that again?
Shockwave.
You like the Shockwave?
That's what I thought you were going to go with.
No, I like Perceptor. He's based on the IDW Perceptor, so he has that eye target master thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Perceptor, like I've said, and I like having him as a desk toy just because I like the microscope. But Shockwave is very cool how they got those angles still with his head. So I know yours is probably Tarn.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, it's... no, Jetfire looks good too. But I think I like the Sharktacon.
It just doesn't look like somebody sitting down like the rest of them.
No, it actually looks
like a normal Sharktacon.
Yeah, it looks like he's on all fours. But no, the Shockwave, as you said, the way they got the angles of the head, that looks really good. And that one eye, it's just so iconic.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's two more. There's Drift and Whirl, which are both pretty good. I like the Drift one. Whirl looks good too. Like you said, with the big one eye, it's very easy to see who it is.
Yeah. I could see grabbing these.
Unless they're blind boxed. See? He disagrees too.
Even he didn't like what you just said.
Lastly, Meng Motion showed off APC 004 Dark Master. And I've got to say, the finish on this thing is amazing. The scratches, the battle damage, but the shine at the same time looks great. And then I guess the arm is the God Vessel kit, which is a different purchase, but I think they did a great job with this.
I do too. And initially, I don't want to buy toys that are damaged, looking, but they did such a great job on this. I actually watched the whole video to see what the transformation looked like, to see if this is something I would want to add to my collection.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to that review because the transformation is kind of cool. So I'm sure you'll be picking that up.
I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, though, because then I don't have any prime characters in my collection.
Just put it with your Megatrons.
I did think about doing that.
Let him know down below on why he should pick this figure up, and we'll be right back with the updates.
Don't do it.
Do it.
All right, so now we're back with the updates. I've had to adjust because the sun from my window keeps targeting my head. So with that, here's something else that's targeting not my head, but James's head, because I think he should pick this up because I know how much he loves Grimlock and repaints of Grimlock. So this is perfect for James.
It's funny you say that because this is way targeted towards you. I will say I like the tribal design on Grimlock, the Dino Mode's chest and arms. I think that looks really good.
And on the top of the head.
It's on the top of the head too?
Yeah, okay, like on the side.
Oh, I kind of see it. Yeah. I didn't see that before. I think that looks really cool. But this is just Grimlock cosplaying as Megatron, cosplaying as Godzilla. It's $65 on Hasbro Pulse, which I don't think that this figure is worth it, in my opinion, without any extensive remolds. Yeah, I would have rather they made Transmetal 2 Megatron with that Megatron head, and then maybe I'd be interested, but definitely not in this.
James. I totally agree with you. The price put me out on it. I have the 86, I have the Shattered Glass, and I have the yellow one that they did that I got on discount. That was the only way I'd get that. This would have to go on discount for me to pick this up as well. But I must say, it looks better in these pictures than it did when it was first announced and everything we had leading up to this. I like the blue on the back of the neck. The tribal that you mentioned, the tribal symbols that you mentioned looks great. I think the details in bot mode on his chest look good, but it's not enough to make me pay more than what I paid for the originals.
Yeah, and honestly, I do think this looks good, just not good as a Godzilla crossover.
Right.
Because I think the bot mode looks phenomenal if call it something else, but not as as Godzilla. I don't see Godzilla in this.
No.
He doesn't even have the spikes going down his back. That's kind of iconic to Godzilla. And he doesn't have that. I don't know how they could have added it. That would have been extensive remolding, but that's what I would have wanted to see.
Well, yeah, and as you mentioned, there's still things that about this kit that I didn't like, which meant buying a third party add-on. There's still the missing of the front teeth, which I think the gold looks fine. It would have been great to have the top and bottom row of teeth for him. I'm sure there's probably the same issues with the feet, and so it's just not anything that makes me say I should pay more for this.
I agree. Speaking of not paying more, we have Studio Series War for Cybertron Ironhide. Personally, I think the Ratchet looked a lot better. I don't like that alt mode with that big piece of gray on the side. That kind of ruins the alt mode. It should have been all red. And this figure all around seems cheaper looking than the Ratchet.
So, sneak peek into my hauls for this month. I do have the Ratchet, and I completely agree with you. I think the Ratchet looks so much better than this. I think the alt mode is fine, but yeah, the breakup of the gray in there, I don't get it. You know, it's not needed. I don't like the gray on the shoulders in bot mode. It just looks like it's unfinished. And if you were going to do that, add some color to it, you know, because again, Ratchet has those, but it has the medical symbols on it, so it breaks it up. This just looks like it's unfinished, and you didn't care to finish it. So I'm very unhappy with this one. I think if they would have done it all in all red, I think it would have looked close to Cliff Jumper, you know, and maybe that's why they didn't do it. But they could have added, you know, I don't know if it was like this, but they could have added the yellow stripe that's on the side that he had in the G1. You know, just if you want to add, you know, break up the mold or whatever, because it's something that transitioned over into what we knew as Ironhide. But yeah, the gray panel just looks terrible. It just really looks like it's unfinished, and yeah, I don't like it at all.
I think the problem with the gray is that it doesn't match the front, the two headlight sections.
Yeah, it's flat.
Those are like gunmetal and painted. I think if those were either the same flat gray as the rest of it, or if the other gray was painted, it would look a lot more cohesive and a lot better. But it's probably just because on the sprue, those gray pieces on the side were with the other gray pieces, and they just said, go with it.
Well, and not only that, but even like the flaps, you know, like look, if you look past the gray panels on the car, like the flaps that are over the tires or the windshield, how it hooks to the roof, it's that same dull gray. Yeah. So it just, you know, doesn't match. Those panels should have been red, you know, so they blended in.
I think it's because Ratchet was all white. So they didn't have to worry about that on the original mold, and then now they're forcing it into Ironhide. Yeah,
I mean, and again, I completely agree with you. However, that's why we're probably in agreement of not picking this figure up, because it just, it doesn't look finished. And like I said, even in the bot mode, that it's just that gray on the shoulders, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me. Next, we have the official standalone Transformer Store #1 exclusive cover for Skybound. So this is that one, I believe it was in the UK. It'll be opening on November 27th, and you could go pick up this comic there.
I'm going to pass on this. I can see now. This is probably why I didn't read comics as well. This is another rabbit hole you could find yourself going down in. All these different covers and all that stuff. Yeah. But it's cool.
It looks nice. I think the ones we looked at already today were better.
I agree.
I don't know what this is and why he's standing there. I'm assuming that's the hospital?
He's chilling on the hospital.
In the story? Yeah. Which I didn't think he was that big, but you should learn something new every day. Next up, we have the Unix Square Combat Optimus Prime. And you can reconstruct this. I believe we've already looked at this. These were posted recently, so I don't know if they're new. But it is an interesting take on Prime, and it is cool that you can make a somewhat of a truck.
I think the one we talked about was Magnus, is what I think.
No, it was Prime.
It was Prime. I thought it was Magnus, or maybe I was just thinking about it being because
I think it was grayscale.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Then in that case, it looks fine. I know that. I saw somewhere in the comics that someone comments. Look at me, I'm already talking about comics. In the comments, that somebody was very interested in this. I want to say it was Titan. It's very different. It's a very unique take on these kind of build a character type things and getting a alt mode out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have Blockies, a classic class Transformers 1 Optimus and Megatron via June King. And these still look very, very good. It's a tough competition, tough market out there for TF1 non-transforming figures.
There's so much non-transforming, just figures in general, but yet alone TF1.
Yeah.
Yeah, these look fine. I'm not as excited about these. Probably because of the TF1 characters, But I will say that I like Prime's axe and the effects on that. It looks kind of cool. I like that green.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the green. I don't think it was green in the movie. I think it should be like more of a yellow orange.
It could be the light. I'm hoping
it could be the lighting. You're right, but they look good regardless. Next up, we have another museum statue from Transformers. The pre-orders are up. This is via the art of the Kucharek brothers. And go ahead and put your pre-orders in if you want it. And it looks kind of interesting. I wish the movies looked like this instead of what they look like.
Yeah. I can go with that. I'm not picking this up, but I can.
Now, this is something that might get you mad, though. DNA Designs Motormaster comes with a special translucent purple sword only for China. And I know you are picking up this upgrade set.
I am, and it would have been cool to have that sword. That pose, though, is very He-Man-ish. Yeah. You know, that's all I keep seeing is by the power of Grayskull. But yeah, it looks good. You know, the special gift is cool. Hopefully, you know, they'll give us something down the line or something like that. Maybe they'll include something for us. Who knows?
Yeah, probably not. Moving on, Lasercat Toys has a 6th member, which is pretty cool. It's just all the combiner parts attached to one. But I do like that you could at least do something with them.
I do too. It's cute for if you don't want to have them fully combined.
Yeah, just even off in the background, I think it looked good. And then here he is combined, and he is painted, and he looks so much better than the one we looked at last news cycle. Don't have a pre-order in, but I do think I'm still going to be picking this up.
I do have a pre-order in. I love that the light effects on him as well. It looks very, very good. Better. It actually looks better painted than I thought it was going to look painted.
Yeah, I was hoping for more gold, but I do think it looks good.
Yeah, I think even like look at the details of around his feet, the cannons on his feet, like the red on the inside and everything.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Good.
Another combiner is the Mecha Invasion crane and trailer, which should be coming out soon. We don't really have a concrete time for that, but more pictures, the more the merrier. Again, looks cool. I'm very excited for this. I think it's coming together pretty well.
I agree. And again, we will be doing the Devi Wars as soon as James receives an item I think he's waiting on. We'll talk about that at some point in time. But I think, yeah, and he gets internet, you know. So, but yeah, I think this is something that we should definitely start talking about. And I'm seeing a lot of good things coming with Mecha Invasion.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking this set. And I have to say, it's interesting that there are multiple Devastators out right now where the chest piece goes with Long Haul instead of Hook. I think that's very interesting. And I also like that the torso armor forms Long Haul's chest. I think that's really cool. So I think these look great. And I'm excited to get these in.
Well, actually, like the chest piece used to go with with Scrapper for the G1 toy. It actually
You're right. Yes.
So yeah, I don't care who it comes with, you know, as long as we get to where we need to get to by the end. I always looked at it as, you know, how's it going to store or what character it's going to store in, you know, alt mode or whatever. But these two figures look really, really good.
Yeah, what I'm more talking about is the integrated combination. You would think it would go with Hook versus...
I got you.
You know, if it's all in one, which I'm pretty sure this is going to be. Yeah, I'm very interested. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a fan's hobby. They're doing a stylized Cobra Fang and Air Eagle for G.I. Joe Classified, I believe. These are very cool for the G.I. Joe collectors out there. Doesn't do anything for me, but I can see people really liking these.
If they're going to do something different than what we've come to know them from, in essence, fans hobby doing Transformers, it's great to see them go to another line and do great things. These look very, very good. While they're not for us, they look very, very good and reminiscent of the Joe figures. Sort of like how Magic Square has, gone from doing Legends to doing MP scale figures, and they've been really good so far.
Yes, and if you are a Joe collector, please let us know if these are accurate, because I heard some of the cockpits were weird and different. And they did that maybe because of IP or whatnot, but let us know, because I don't know what these are supposed to look like, honestly.
And because you said IP, not everybody's going to know what intellectual property is. So,
sorry. So let's move on to another fans hobby thing, and they showed off their wing saber with in both attack modes, with both the normal Prime and the one that we just saw, Obsidian Commander. Thank you. And this makes me wonder if we're going to be seeing a alternate color scheme that goes with Obsidian Commander.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so now, if they do, they have me in on this, because I got the Obsidian Commander or Grand Scourge. What this also tells me is, or it makes me question, pose a question, is Get Right Robot going to be involved with this?
It depends on if it's a TFCon exclusive or not, I think, with the Chosen Prime. If it's with the Chosen Prime, yes, he will be. If it's not and it's just a normal release like their Nemesis Prime, then it won't be. What color are you hoping for? Because I think it would be cool if it's not black. If it's like that purple we saw, that would be kind of interesting. Black would be cool as well, but I think if, I don't think there is a black repaint, so they could do a lot with it. And time will tell.
I don't know about the character that well to if there was a repaint or if there wasn't a repaint previously. I think that having it black would be really dope, with highlights of the teal or that blue color in there. Maybe some purple. I just thought that the colors that of the limbs were so off, and then he had like one black leg, so it looked like the black leg was part of him and then everything else was different. I would either want to see it match the main bot or have colors that maybe reminiscent of the limbs.
Now what would be very cool is if each one of the one leg, the other leg, the other arm, they're each all different colors, just to annoy you, like red, green, blue, and yellow, instead of what we got.
Yeah, that would be completely terrible.
Well, and they might just not even be teasing that at all. They just might have another one to put the prototype on so you could see the difference. So time will tell. Let us know what you think below.
Yeah, I'm interested now.
Next, we got low in resources. Steel Fortress. I guess it's going to come with the gold card. There's some different pieces all packaged up in a pallet, so you should be expecting this soon. And there's a lot of them. So are you excited to get this in?
No! It was kicked around. I was on a group on Facebook, and it was kicked around about how much this might cost. And $1,800.
Have they not come out with the price yet?
I have not seen a confirmed price.
Confirmed. Okay.
Right.
And what were they saying?
They were saying $1,800.
Holy shit!
And from when this was announced, and again, I could be completely wrong. I know Like Toys was saying that they were trying to get it, under $1,000 or whatever. And I think this one was going to say, this was saying like a little over $1,000.
I think I remember 1,200.
I was thinking 1,200, but 1,800. I might turn on the beep, beep, beep. Yeah. I'm backing up.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it looks good, but I don't think it's particularly what you want.
It's not, and that's would make me cancel my order is that if it's 1800, I'm definitely out. If it was more G1, you'd have a strong case to keep me in, but there's just too many. Nah,
that's crazy. Well, let us know what your thoughts are below about this Metroplex in general and the price.
1800. Nope. I can think of 1200 or 600 reasons why I would be out.
Next, King Toys showed off the artwork for Bronze Solid, which is actually a kind of interesting name. And this does look cool. The art looks great. Even though he has like a swoop head on his dinosaur mode, now that I look at it, he even has like the
crown.
You know that little red thing on the top of his head?
Crown? I don't know.
Crown? Oh yeah, and he has a beak and stuff. But it still looks cool as far as art goes.
So when we talked about this prior episodes, I talked about how I don't like the dinosaur head and stuff and on as arms and everything. This artwork makes me retract that statement. This artwork looks very, very good. And that's why I was shaking my head. It looks very, very good. I still probably wouldn't like it as on the toy, but this artwork makes me change my mind on that. I would actually want to see him in this pose, with the weapon and everything in hand, if it's possible to do this. But I just noticed that it isn't on his arm. It is on his back because his hand is holding the
hammer.
The hammer. But I think that it's a lot going on, but it looks kind of cool.
It does look better in full color. So especially if you don't use it as Sludge, if you use it as his brother Sludge or something, which you'll probably do in your collection.
Yeah.
Next up, we had a video of Heidelberg or Scorponok by CN Culture. Did you watch that video?
I did.
Yeah. It looked, I skimmed through it. It seems exactly what you would expect. There didn't seem to be anything special or interesting, but I want to hear your take on it.
It's what I expected because they have done good work. So it's consistent with them doing good work, which is a good thing. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with everything that it comes with. I like that it comes with the 4 of the double guns that we see on his arms, because the Titan Return only came with 2. So I like the fact that we have 4. I like all the articulation in the weapons. I don't know. I can't remember if it came with these blast effects, but I'm assuming it does. They look great. The tail, I would have liked to see a little bit longer, but that's just nitpicking. I like how it stores. I like how clean it looks. I like the colors. I thought everything about it looked really good. And if the price is similar to what the Metroplex is or was, then I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is horrible. I don't think it's nitpicking to say you want a scorpion's tail to look more intimidating.
Yeah.
I think that is a very valid want. But this does look fine. Nothing crazy, nothing exciting, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Iron Factory GINRAI or Silver Streak via June King. This should be out soon, but it's not quite yet, but it looks good.
Is it Silver Streak or Blue Streak?
Is there a difference?
Yes. Blue Streak is actually
Blue
silver.
Blue Streak is
silver.
It was supposed to be called Blue Streak, and it was supposed to be blue, and then they changed it. And then in newer ones, they call this one Silver Streak.
Yeah. So
it really doesn't matter what you call them. It's the same character.
Yeah. So I think this looks good. I've heard bad things about this mold. So I don't know. Let us know if I only know of one person who's picked this up, and that would be Deluxe. And he actually said that he was skipping out on this because he didn't like. I think it was the I don't remember which one, Prowl maybe. I don't know which one it was.
Okay.
But the colors on this one look really, really good.
I agree. I think it looks fine. Just like the Red Alert that they're coming out, and these pictures are via Rud's Toy on Weibo. Again, looks fine. It doesn't do any. Personally, I would rather have a different Red Alert, but I do think it looks better than the Sideswipe.
I completely agree with you. I'd rather have a different Red Alert. That weapon looks very intimidating, at least from this angle.
Yes, the weapons are very cool with these figures. Lastly, we have Cyber Era CEO6 via Mang Motion, and this is just another KO. I think this is MP scaled Rise of the Beasts Prime.
All right, I think it looks fine. The bot mode looks fine. It looks very accurate, actually. The part that kills this for me, besides me not liking the Rise of the Beast, those tires, especially on the back, they look like they're like not bolted on. Like it looks like you're changing the tires, and they look very small. Like look at the size of those tires compared to Bumblebee's tires, but they look really small, and they don't look like they're properly sitting upright. They look like they're like leaning a little bit. And again, that could be due to transformation, but who knows? But that was the thing that stood out to me the most, is how small Prime's rolling on some tins.
Yeah, for me, the thing that stood out on the vehicle mode is that hinge right above the grill. I don't know. I think it should be straight across, not like, you know what I mean?
Out.
And maybe it's supposed to be like that, but I don't see it that way. So either which way, if this is cheap for a KO, if it's a KO, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. That would be great, but there are so many versions of this Optimus out there if you really want it.
There really is. But
I think this is actually Bumblebee Prime, not Rise of the Beasts. I think I said it wrong.
Okay, that would make sense for why Bumblebee's there. I mean, it looks. I think it looks fine, whichever way it goes. Again, I'm not a big fan of the movie Primes. I think the alt mode looks fine. It's just the wheels kind of throw me off, and again, that could be transformation, I hope. But yeah, the bot mode looks, as it should for what it is.
Yeah, I think it looks fine too. All right, well, we'll be right back, and we'll finish this off with what's incoming and recently released. So let's talk about what's incoming. And the first thing, I didn't know we were going to be able to get this, but we got Big Firebirds IMG 01 Insect Mecha Girl Dozy Red, the red color. So I've got to say, the red looks phenomenal, the red and gold. I really like how that looks, but after seeing this figure in hand, I do not like the proportions on it, so I will be skipping this.
Completely agree that this color looks amazing. I love this red. I hate this figure. The first release, maybe they changed something on the red, I don't know, but shout out to Blue for allowing us to mess with the figure, and it's the worst figure that I've touched this year, easily, maybe last year as well. I wanted to throw it.
Yeah, I just didn't like the proportions. I felt like it looked different than the pictures.
Yeah, the transformation.
I didn't even try to transform it, so.
Yeah, it sucks. Stuff pops off, stuff pops out, stuff doesn't connect. Yeah,
it sounds like a QC issue, so maybe they tightened it up for this then.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
well, still looks pretty. Next, let's talk about Raijin, which is the Keith's Fantasy Club P14. Let's talk about this alt mode for now. We got more pictures of the bot mode coming up, but what do you think of this alt mode?
I'm gonna have to pull out my G1 because it looks like it's an extended cab. With the back of it, it looks very bulky in the front, which is fine. But it just looks big. It's very clean, I think. There's some sliding points you can see in the back. The blue tabs on the roof, I wish those were red, but I think it still looks pretty clean. And again, I have to look at my G1 to see if they nailed that, because maybe the G1 is that way. But I think I think it's a very doable alt mode.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks like it comes together really well. But I just wish that silver stripe continued on the red, all the way to the back.
Front.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the back. Okay.
On the back, it even looks like there's a groove for it, but it's just not painted.
Yeah.
That might be an oversight, but I think that kind of kills it for me, at least on that one part. But now let's talk about the bot mode. It looks very posable. Looks very much like we would expect a Powermaster GINRAI, the little version, to look like. What do you think?
I think it looks good. I think it looks very good. I from head to toe, I actually really like it. I like the windows. I like the design in the windows. I think that looks very, very cool. Yeah, I think everything looks really good about it. Honestly, I never liked the cab on the back and on the front, but it looks really clean, and everything is, looks like it tabs in well. So it looks like the ratchets and things are very tight, because as you see in the third picture of him standing on one leg, that's a pretty dynamic pose. And again, I'm hoping that he's actually doing that by himself without any help. Under the arms looks clean. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like there might be an ab crunch in there for you as well. Looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks good too. But this is the best part of it, in my opinion, and that's Haikyuu. I love my little guys, and this looks very cute, and I love that he could actually sit and drive the cab.
Yep. And I don't know if you have this picture, but there's actually some molding on the dash a little bit that almost looks like a steering wheel.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of pictures of there. I think last time I checked, there was like 30 pictures.
Something like that, yeah.
Of this. So lots of different angles you can get them in. I do like this. I got the trailer on sale, I think earlier this year, I believe. And I think I'm gonna wait on this, but it's kind of hard because I think it looks really good in combined mode.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks better than Hasbro's attempt, but again, I get it, budget constraints, blah 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 blah. But I remember seeing it in person at TFCon and not liking a lot of it. But I think this picture at least looks really good, and I think you should wait probably till it's on sale. I think this one will go on sale just because everybody that would normally buy this jumped off and got Hasbro's, just because a lot of people are loyal to Hasbro. And they did it reverse. They should have released GINRAI and then the trailer. But it's not bad.
Well, I feel like people who bought the trailer feel obligated to buy this, and I feel like people who didn't buy the trailer because they were upset, and like you just said, and were like, I'm not going to buy this, I want the figure first, and they should have released the figure first. I agree with you. When we handled this at TFCon, was it Chicago maybe?
I think it was just the last one. It's been at a lot of them.
Yeah, so or maybe it was Orlando. I don't know.
I think it was Orlando.
Orlando. I think it was Orlando. When we did handle it, I didn't like the way some of the things pegged on, especially like those gray guns. It's the way they kind of angle in. I'm hoping that by adding this in, things lock into place better than it did with the faux cab. So that would be my only concern. I do think it looks good though. And yeah, I'm gonna probably wait till a sale. I think.
I don't blame you. I think it looks fine too. But let's talk about something else that should be on sale. Ocular Max showed off their groove or insert us, and said you have to follow this step particularly carefully, because if you don't, you'll scratch up the face.
Yeah, don't turn the head when you're transforming it. This bothers me, but it also goes to show that you need to pay attention. So for those of us that like to take a figure out and attempt to try to transform it without instructions, this is for you. So this is I'm happy that they put this in the instructions to cover their butts for one, but I also wish that wasn't the case, that you have to worry about this.
Or they used better paint or sealant or whatever, so it didn't do this.
Yeah.
But looking at Groove's face made me think about why he looks so weird with that nose. So I looked up some images of Groove from the show, and he just looks weird. He looks normal in one of them, which is the upper left-hand one, I think, the closest one to his head. And he just looks strange in the rest of them. So I don't know. I don't like this head at all. I wish he just had a more typical head for a Transformer.
Yeah, that chin, boy. He got that.
It's all weird, and
he got that Jay Leno.
Yeah, I don't like it. But let us know what you think about Groove's head below.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Next up, let's talk about what's recently released, and we've got Armada Galvatron sighted at a GameStop in Chesapeake, Virginia, via TFW user Daimao.
I don't remember the Megatron box, but he's looking like there's a lot of room in there between his head and his shoulder pylons.
I was going to say he actually fills the box better than most leader class figures.
Well, I agree. I just think that that just shows how big those pylons are in comparison to his head and everything. So
I get what you're saying. Yeah, and they're supposed to be. Because, when you look at Sandstorm, I saw Sandstorm at a GameStop, and I'm like, oh my god, he's like microscopic in there. So this at least fills it out a little bit.
Yeah. I think the colors look great. I may pick it up on deep discount, again, because of the Fans Hobby version that I'm very happy with. But I did pick up the Megatron on deep discount, so it's possible. Yeah,
I agree with you on all accounts. I didn't pick up the Megatron, but I will pick this up because I do like this color scheme. I have a little bit of nostalgia for it, as long as it's on a discount.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's everything we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed, and go do all that YouTube stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. Go ahead and look at becoming a member if you can. It really helps us out, and I think we have some cool stuff going on. So we hope to see all of you on our lives that will be coming up soon, and we will see you in the next one.
Yes, stay tuned. We will be bringing on Collector's Crafts, Ben from Collector's Crafts, to do an interview. And if you have any questions that you would like for us to ask, please submit those in the chat comments or send us an email at botverseCon@gmail.com. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Till all debates are won.